Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, welcome for the first time. If you're new, welcome back to my OGs. We are going to continue our conversation around Start Your Online Business Week. Yes. This is the last day of this 7-day experience where I have been sharing with you guys some recommendations and tips when it comes to starting and growing your online business, inspired by the Start Your Online Business experience over at citizensense.com/SYOB. But of course, today, what I'm going to do is to dig into my top 5 ways to promote your products and attract new customers when you have no clients and customers to speak of. Okay. So I'm just going to share some strategies with you guys. Come on in, tag your business besties. If you catch me on the replay side, drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. So let's do this. Let's rock out. First of my top 5 is examples. You need to be your best example, customer, client, testimonial, you name it. When I started my business and I started building websites for people and doing graphics for people, I didn't have anybody else as a testimonial. I had to be my best testimonial, all right? So whatever kind of results you're trying to get for other people, showcase what you've done for yourself in the beginning. I always talk about how, I'm an 80s baby. And, back then there used to be a commercial called Hair Club for Men. It was like this business. And, the guy who would do the commercial at the end, he would always say, I'm not only a client, I'm also the president, or I'm not only the president, I'm also a client. And he had a picture of himself and he was bald and he did Hair Club for Men as well, right? So being in a space where you can show that you are like the top or one of the best examples of what's amazing about the results that can happen from working with you or doing what you do, I think is key. So I'm going to share with you. Hey, Debbie, teach. Awesome. So good to have you here. First thing when it comes to you having no clients, no customers, being a newpreneur, is to use yourself as an example of the best that you can deliver to your audience. When I was building graphic designs for clients before I had a lot of them, I would post graphics that I was doing for myself, different web pages that I was doing for myself, and people will go, "Ooh, I like that. Can you do something like that for me?" Get the ball rolling, okay? And of course, as you begin to get examples of customers, use those too. That's the show and tell experience, being able to share with people who you're working with, what they're getting out of the experience, and using yourself as the first example, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, opinions. Opinions. So, have you ever seen those memes where they're like, nobody, crickets, nobody asking, right? Just as nobody. And then me. And of course, the picture of the person is always the person who's doing the most, who's extra. It's like, right? Have you ever seen those memes before? Well, nobody. Absolutely nobody. Me. All right, this is how you can start your business. This is how you can blog. This is how you can monetize. This is me, right? If you want to get into a place where you are promoting your products and you are attracting new customers, you need to be that somebody that nobody asked for the opinion, but you're giving it. Okay. So number 1 on my top 5 list of strategies when it comes to promoting as a new entrepreneur with no clients is using those examples, yourself being the first one, and then examples of your new customers as you start to get them. Number 2 for me is your opinions. Stop waiting for somebody to confirm that you can start to talk. Some of you guys are waiting for confirmation. You're waiting for somebody to say it's okay for you to put yourself out. Nobody's going to tell you, okay? So you're going to sit and you're going to continue to watch everybody else create content because nobody's telling them to create their content. Nobody's telling me, okay, LaShawn, it's time to do a live. I'm doing that. Right? I'm creating the schedule because I'm the boss, right? Remember? Okay, we're just going to have some 80s memories right now. Who's the boss? You're the boss. Nobody's going to tell you when to create the content, when to put it out there. So stop putting it off, right? You are in control of the conversation. Like it, like it. Hey, Emma, welcome, welcome. So I want you to think about that. How many of you are putting examples up online of your work? Because again, Examples are visuals. When people see the visuals and they like it, they buy. Number one. Number two, how many of you are putting your opinions out there, right? I call it HTE, becoming a how-to expert, right? Whether you're blogging, whether you are doing videos, whether you're podcasting, you are putting your information out there to the point where people start to follow you. And in turn, as they're following you, you're able to promote what it is that you do as a business, what you sell outside of the information that you're sharing when it comes to those opinions. Okay, that's number two on my list. Number three, for me, it's all about events. So I always ask the question, how do you find me? Right? And out of curiosity, if you haven't already answered this question like 15 times, drop into the comment box to let me know, how did you find me? Yesterday, one of the awesome ladies on my live, she said, you know what? You were a speaker for Kim Cole's Captivating Conversations. I found you, I watched you, I knew I could do this, and she's been following me ever since, right? A lot of people find me through events, whether I host them or I speak at them. So as a new entrepreneur, if you're not getting invitations to speak, obviously nobody knows who you are because you're a newbie. Here are some ways to get your speak on and to become a part of a larger conversation. All right. So events, I'm going to kind of give you my trajectory when it came to where I am today. For me, it started with hosting my own events, right? So just kind of popping on and saying, hey, I'm going to do a webinar. Do you want to register and sign up and see who would sign up to those things, right? I'm going to host a conference call. Do you want to sign up if you're interested in just kind of building from there? And then I had a few virtual business besties, fellow business bloggers. And I said, hey, how can we get together and help each other? Do you want to do a webinar with me? Awesome. So it would be like maybe one other person or two other people, and we would co-host. So I started with doing my own virtuals by myself, co-hosting with a couple of people so that we could exchange each other's visibility, right? And then from there, going offline, going to actual live events when you can. Of course, you may not be able to do that as much now, but when you can. And from there, being in a place where I started to see events happening and saying, hey, you're looking for speakers? How about me pitching myself, right? Looking for opportunities where I could pitch myself or people who I knew who were in my circle, and they followed me and vice versa. And I'm like, hey, I see you got something going on. Are you looking for speakers? Out of curiosity, if so, I'll put my hand in the ring, put my hat in the ring, as they say. And if it was a good fit, they'd say, hey, yeah, pitching. And I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, I didn't think I could do that. I was kind of sitting around waiting for people to invite me to the party. And I was like, how come nobody invited me? I didn't know that pitching was a thing, but it is. Right? So pitching myself, and then being in a place where I started to get reciprocal invitations, because me creating my own events and then saying, hey, would you be interested in, being a part of ... A lot of times, some of those people would then, when they hosted their events, they would ask me. And then because I was hosting my events and people were seeing me on other people's events, they would just kind of naturally say, hey, I saw you on such and such a thing. I've got something coming up. I'd love for you to be a part of that. Media creates media, right? That momentum begins, but you got to start somewhere. So yeah, nobody, right? Nobody's asking for your opinion. Nobody's asking for you to host the event. So stop waiting for them to say yes. You say yes. You start the process. And in that starting the process, you'll begin to see progress, right? That's at least my experience anyway, right? So number one was examples. Number two was opinions. Number three was events. Number four, interviews. Interviews. I love to read, and we love to read about other people being all up in somebody else's business, right? So one of the first things that I did on my website was I started a series where I was interviewing other boss women entrepreneurs. And, that created an experience for me to have them on my platform. And I don't know if you know this, but people like to be featured. And so when I was featuring people on my blog, they would go, oh my gosh, I was featured on Sister Sense. And it's so awesome when I see people put the Sister Sense logo in their as seen on section. It really heightens my credibility. It's an honor for them to even acknowledge, being able to say that they've got like major news outlets and magazines, and then it's got Ask Sister Sense. And I'm like, oh my right? But that's one of the ways that I was able to attract new traffic, new customers, new business by interviewing others. And then that turned into reciprocal interviews of me, establishing my own branded platform, created my own community, but then gave me the credibility that other people would come to me and say, hey, I would love to interview you. I've got a couple of interviews coming up and I'm excited to share those once they're actually released. But that has always been one of my best effective ways to getting new traffic, right? Get in a space where people are talking about you more. Word of mouth marketing is an age old strategy. How many of you are getting enough word of mouth marketing, right? Maybe the systems and strategies may tweak and change a little bit, but ultimately it's about getting more people talking about you and how awesome you are so they can get excited about what it is that you offer, right? So interviews, right? I wasn't, people were knocking down my door like, hey, we'd like to interview you. I was in a space where I just started to interview other people, created a platform to showcase other entrepreneurs, and that kind of helped me build momentum. Okay. So these are things I want you to consider. Are you doing these things? Any of these things resonating with you? Feel free to let me know. So far, I talked about examples, opinions, events, and interviews. Another thing for me is OTU. I call that opt-ins to upsells. And I have always been in a place where I will strategically share some great good with you guys, and then connect it to a paid offer. So connecting free offers to paid offers. Are you doing that enough? People talk about funnels and, oh my gosh, funnels, and they feel so overwhelmed. But it's basically just thinking about giving somebody something valuable that they can opt into and put their email in, and then you connect that free offer to a valuable paid offer. Some people will take it, some people won't. But if you're connecting it, you're going to begin a process where you're going from no customers to new customers to, ooh, I got those customers to come back again. Right? So I'm going to give you guys something absolutely free. If you're looking to work on your branding, feel free to go over to sistasense.com. That's me. You see right there, Sistasense, sistasense.com/BT kit. That is my brand toolkit. It's the brand like a boss toolkit, and it's free. You get to learn about some cool things that you can do to work on your branding visibility. And of course, there's a brand like a boss big old bundle too. If you'd like to get that, you learn more about that as part of the BT kit. Again, over at sistasense.com/BT kit. It is lit. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And it's beautiful. I mean, I put my foot in that. So hopefully you like it. Let me know what you think about it. sistasense.com/BT kit. So last one, like I mentioned before, was number 5 for me, opt-ins. So freebies that lead to upsells. The BT kit is a great example of that. I'm a visual girl, so take a look. If you have an opt-in that leads into something that you want to sell, feel free to drop it here so that I and other people in my community can see. If you don't have one, I think you need to work on one. If you would like some help with that, I do have a free training. It's called Launch with Leads. It helps you with list building and putting together landing pages. If you don't have an opt-in, it's a great free training over at sistasense.com/LWL. Thank you for the hearts and the love, by the way. Keep tapping on that. And don't forget to turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. So I said I was going to do 5, and I did, but I'm going to give you guys one more, like a secret number 6. Okay. So like I mentioned before, number 5 was opt-ins to upsells. If you don't have one, you can do the Launch with Leads free challenge to learn how to create one. If you do have one, feel free to drop it into the comment box here, but also figure out a couple of ways that you're going to strategically share your opt-in more often this week. Okay. Working on your weekly routines is one way that you're going to grow your customer base and help you promote your products. I shared a really awesome 7-point plan to bossing up your business on a weekly basis. It was free over on Instagram at Sistasense. Hopefully you saw it and you liked it, but if you didn't see it, go check it out. It's awesome. So my last one, my secret six on this list of top fives is internal cross promotion. So if you were to go on my Instagram page at SizzleSense, if you click the link at the top, it's going to take you to my SizzleSense.com website. If you go to SizzleSense and you look at the bottom, you're going to see my Instagram latest posts. Cross promote on your platforms. Make the most of what you have. So if people go to one space, they can learn more about the other. That's something that I've always done to strategically promote myself, even if writing a lot of content, sharing my opinion on my blog. When people get to the blog, then I'm going to be like, hey, here's something you can opt into for free. Here are some of my latest products. While you have people's attention, make the most of it. Mention those other things you want them to take advantage of. So outside of having other people promote you on their platforms, strategically cross-promoting yourself on your own platforms, making sure that, you're making the most of your YouTube, your Facebook. How many of you are proactively promoting your business on your personal Facebook page? And I don't mean like every day bombarding your friends and family, no, but I just mean if somebody were to simultaneously go randomly go to your profile page, they could see a link to your website, maybe a couple of pictures of products, maybe your cover has a picture of a product you want to offer. Just subtle promotion that you're integrating there so they can find you and learn more about your business anywhere, right? Think about that. If they go to your Twitter or your Instagram or your Pinterest, when you look at those platforms, are they really clearly identifying things that you are offering now? Hey, my dear. Awesome to see your lovely face here. Welcome. We've been talking via email, so it's good to see that you were able to catch me live. So that's it. That's basically me sharing some things that you guys can consider when it comes to promoting your products and or attracting customers as a new entrepreneur with no clients. Work on your examples. You're your first example. So if you are seeing results, showcase that. And then as you can start to build up your customer base, share what they are getting from you as well. Examples, opinions. Don't wait for other people to tell you, okay, now you can start to share your opinions. Start. I was on a clarity call with a client on Wednesday, and she said to me, LaShonda, I know I have a new business. I haven't started yet. Do you think I should start a newsletter in the very beginning? And I'm like, absolutely, right? Your blog, your newsletter, your videos, your podcasts. You want to get into a place where you create, I used to call this my honey blog, sticky, sweet content that's so good that people stick to it and they stay connected. Don't wait until you've gotten to a certain space to think, okay, now's the time for me to share my opinions and put together these platforms. You don't have to do all of it. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and say, okay, I know you're a busy person and you got a lot of going on in your life. I need you to write and video and this and that. Do what feels right for you. Right? If you want to focus on writing or podcasting or maybe doing interview, get into a place where you share your opinions, right? So examples, number one, more opinions. Number two, more events. Number three, I previously, a few minutes ago, broke down the trajectory of different types of events that I did and reciprocal invitations to speak, which helped me to build my visibility. Number four, interview, same thing, creating opportunities to interview others on my platform and then getting reciprocal interviews as well. And then I said to you, number five, OTs, use creating opt-ins, freebie lead magnets that lead to upsells. Secret, super, six, internal cross promotion, making sure that on all your platforms, whatever platform, people can clearly see who you are and what it is that you do. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Today is the last of the Start Your Online Business Week series. If you missed any of these, binge all week. And again, make sure you turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. The Start Your Online Business 3-day webinar workshop, instant access to it to be able to get all the good strategies that I share when it comes to putting together your profit playbook, and literally in a matter of days, working on creating digital products, continuity programs, packages, you name it. We talked about it. It's a great training. Dig in over at sizzlesense.com/SYOB. That's it for this week. Next week, new topic, new wonderful. Till then, take care. Mwah. Bye, guys.